But now I found myself in New Orleans, and it's really funny to me because I come from Louisiana. I'm a drinker, and when I was in LA and I would drink there the way I do here, they would look at me like I needed to be in a fucking meeting or something, right? You know, like we're sitting around, we're drinking, I'm like, hey, let's have another one. My friend's like, oh, I don't think so. I'm like, why not? And she's like, because I have to drive. And I'm like, so? Well, I don't think you should have another one either, and I don't think that you're okay to drive. Do you want me to follow you home? Why? So you can watch me get a DUI? Yes, officer, I saw him plow over those people on the street. Thank God I was right behind him. You know? Because, well, in Louisiana, a DUI is a rite of passage. I mean, for fuck's sake, we have drive-through daiquiri shacks, right? You drive up, you order your drink, and you drive, and now they have a menu of non-alcoholic drinks, which means your children can drink and ride while you drink and drive, right? And it's legal. It's not an open container. It's got a big piece of tape over the top of it. That motherfucker is solid. Ain't nothing getting out of there. Man, because you know, like, they don't do like pre-drinking drinking in California. You know what pre-drinking drinking is? Like tonight, let's say this show was your drinking, okay? Your pre-drinking was down at your friend's trailer, and then at Chili's for a 2-for-1 or O'Charlie's or something, and then you get here to do your real drinking, right? That's what we do. Louisiana is the only state in the union where you'll hear the phrase, bartender, may I have a to-go cup, please? It's wonderful. And I moved back to Louisiana. I moved to New Orleans. I never thought of New Orleans as like a, you know, like a putting roots down kind of place, like a place where you actually lived, you know. New Orleans is a place where you like wake up naked in bed with a homeless man or some shit. And the really fucked up thing is you're in his bed, right? People like not from here would say, oh, we love New Orleans. When you go to Paul Prudhomme's restaurant and on the little ferry over to Algiers, and do you go to the cemeteries and stuff? And I'm like, no. But I have realized I was in a porno booth with a midget sucking my dick doing whippets out of a condom and asking myself where my life has gone. True story, folks. Steve, you're like, oh shit, you know? But you go with your best friends because you guys get crazy, you know, like you go to your one place where it's Razoo's or whatever the fuck you straight people go to on Bourbon Street, right? The 3-for-1, that's the one I like, to tell you the truth. So, you know, you go there and you know, you're 4 to 6 shots into the night, you guys are dancing, having a good time and shit, right? And yeah, bro, yeah. And then 8 to 10 shots into the night, you're still dancing, you're checking stuff out, you're starting to get hot, you know, and stuff like that. And like whatever, and then 16 shots later, you're like outside going, fuck you! Fuck you! I love you! You know, when people ask me what New Orleans means to me, I always tell them this story. I was there with a good friend of mine, like one of my best friends in the world, right? And we were, you know, fucked up. And he doesn't like the smell of beignets and piss to really just take you on your walk. And so we're walking down Bourbon Street, and I'm doing the very careful, like, drunk walk, you know, because when you're from here, you know that if you don't want to be face down on a street like Rue de Bourbon. That's all I'm saying. It's pretty disgusting, right? So I'm being really careful. And my friend is like, hey, let's go into this bar right here. It's this double, this bar with 2 floors or whatever. She's like, hey, let's go in here. And I'm like, I don't think so. I'm pretty fucked up. And she's like, no, come on, let's go. Let's have a good time. And I'm like, okay, maybe so. Mardi Gras, right? So we walk in, and we go up to the top level. And on the top level, they're doing this Goldschlager promotion. Mayasha. My dream in life is for them to turn the phrase drunk as Cooter Brown into drunk as Jeff D. Beyond that, they were shooting these shots of Goldschlager down these giant icy canals, right? And people had their faces at the bottom, and it's going into their throats. And my friend was like, hey, come on, let's do one of those. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't think so. I'm really fucked up. She's like, no, come on, let's do it. I'm like, okay, Mardi Gras, right? So I stick my face down at the bottom of this thing, and the little girl puts the shot at the top of it, goes down the ice, goes down into the back of my throat. I swallow it. And what happened next, I like to call a drinking oopsie daisy. Well, there are 2 kinds of drinking oopsie daisies. There's the first kind, it's the safe kind, it follows you home, right? Like you've been drinking all night long and you're all fucked up and you're in bed and you're trying to go to sleep but you got the wah-wahs, right? That's when the room is spinning around going wah, 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 wah. You know, and so you're sticking your leg out the side of the bed trying to say to yourself, and you're talking to yourself, you're saying you're not gonna throw up, just pass out, asshole, pass out. Second kind of oopsie daisy that actually happens to you at the establishment. That's the kind I had that night, right? So I have my face down here, she puts the shot in, back of my throat, I swallow it, my stomach says, fuck you, dude, and sends it all right back up. Right? I throw my hand over my face, I need to go somewhere because I'm about to become a fucking geyser, right? But I'm not gonna go right there all over the Goldschlager sled or whatever. So I get up and I run out to the balcony. Be patient. I don't want to be that guy. I didn't want to do that. I saw that there were people walking down there, and I don't want to be the guy that some chick is like, man, this hand grenade is awesome, and oh my fucking God! And I'm like, I'm sorry, lady. Mardi Gras, right? I don't want to be that dude. So I just back up and I start going right there on the pavement, right? And my friend sees what I'm doing and she sees that there are other people out there who may be able to see me, right? So she comes and runs up next to me and starts like pretending like we're dancing, right? And so I start pretending like we're dancing too, right? But I emptied out, I walked in, ordered a beer, did another shot of Goldschlager, showed my dick for a set of beads, and that's what I do in New Orleans, you see. That's what New Orleans means to me.